towards this administration and this president. It is counterproductive for what they're trying to do. And look at Bush 41. He had an awful lot he could have said about Bill Clinton, but he showed a lot of dignity and class, and he didn't do it.
Well, that's just a reality. And look, we are at a time when the American people are about to send their young men and women into conflict, and I think that it deserves an open and honest debate. Mm-hmm. But I think as responsibilities of a former president of the United States are to recognize that the American people have given that responsibility over to your successor.
Let me also applaud you. You have been very articulate in laying out the case. You're a powerful ally. I want you to know. It's only when I disagree with you on McCain-Feingold that we have issues. But I'm kidding. But, you know, you have been really outspoken, and you've laid out a very firm case, and I give you a lot of credit, about what we need to do and why we need to do it as it relates to Iraq and North Korea and some other issues around the globe. What do you think of this new resolution? The United States and Great Britain is going back to the UN again, and now they decided they're not even going to put a timetable in here. I am concerned that it is only going to embolden and empower Saddam Hussein and allow him to get his troops to dig in, so they're going to hurt our troops. I think this may be a very big mistake.
Well, it may be if it unfolds the way you describe. I think the administration is going to a large degree for the sake of Tony Blair, who has been steadfast and deserves our efforts to help him. I think they're going to go back, get the vote, and say, look, it's pretty obvious that France / Germany, although I'm not sure exactly how that plays out, but if the French decide to veto, they say, look, we've run out the string here. And I think we're doing that to try to help Tony Blair, whose popular support, as you know, has eroded dramatically. And I'll tell you, I didn't always agree with Mr. Blair in some things he did, but I think he's almost Churchillian at this particular time in history.
I think he absolutely is, and we can only hope that he doesn't politically suffer Churchill's fate either at the end of the day.
I'll tell you why he won't. It's because we're going to win this victory. Tragically, we will lose American lives, but it will be brief. We're going to find out massive evidence of weapons of mass destruction, and we're going to find the incredible brutalities that this dictator has inflicted upon the Iraqi people. And so I think he's going to be justified. I'm confident that he will be justified.
I am confident that all those things that you predict are going to come true, and a lot of people that have been laying out the case against this are going to be very embarrassed, at least if they have conscience.
Could I mention one other
effect?
Yes, it's going to send a message throughout the Middle East that democracy can take hold in the Middle East, and that is going to send a message to friends and foes alike, whether they be Syria or Saudi Arabia. Yeah,
you've also, in the last couple of days, you've been very outspoken against France and Germany, and you're not shy. We love that about you, Senator. But really, when you look at the business dealings of these two countries, now that they have become revealed really in just the last 2 weeks, oil deals, arms deals, Germany, France, Russia, it is appalling that it is somewhat clear to me that this is the real motivation behind their political maneuverings. You concur?
Yeah, except that I would differentiate some between France and Germany. Germany's where they are because the cynical behavior of Mr. Schroeder, in his zeal and desperation to get reelected, he played the anti-American card and he won. Now he's got to stick to it. But the Germans are helping us in Bosnia. They're helping us in Kosovo. They headed the peacekeeping operation in Afghanistan, and they're protecting our bases. I think once this is over that we will have at least largely a restoration with the Germans. The French have thrown sand in the gears of the alliance for a long period of time, and I think what they risk is isolation from the rest of Europe. The most heartening thing of this whole difficult period with Europe is the way that the Latvian president spoke up, the way that the Romanians have said to the French, they're very traditional allies, I'm sorry, but we're with the Americans because we know what oppression and terror are all about.
We have more with Senator McCain after the break. Then world peace